Today, I'm not going to talk about my allotment. There's nothing much happening there, and I will return to it when there is something to talk about. But today, I'm going to tell you about another bee in my bonnet. I hate waste. I don't like to waste food or money or time or anything. If I can mend something rather than throw it away and replace it, I will. One of the ways in which my hatred of waste manifests itself is that I can't walk past a skip, or a dumpster as they call it in America, without looking in to see what other people have thrown away and if there's anything in there that I can salvage and use. I know technically it's illegal to take things out of a skip, but I see it as part of my civic duty, and I'm not going to stop doing it. I've had many useful things out of skips in the past, chairs, a wheelbarrow, lots of materials, bits and pieces of wood and stuff like that. Plants, I've had a lot of good plants out of skips. People don't really know how to look after them, and they torture them after death and then throw them away and buy another plant. Well, with a bit of care and attention, those plants come back and become good specimens again. I've got 3 orchids on my windowsill, all of which are flowering at the moment, and I don't think I paid for any of them. Take this footstool, for example. I made it myself, and I agree it is crudely made, but I'm not a great carpenter. What I like about this is the material. It comes from wood that I found in a skip, and in its previous life it was part of an outdoor staircase. It probably saw service outdoors and stood outdoors for over 100 years, and yet it's still solid. There's just a little wear on the edge of the step here. This stool is made out of one piece of wood, one tread on the staircase. And when I took it to a wood shop to get it cut into sections, I was told that it was Brazilian mahogany. I'm not sure that that is true, but whatever it was, it came from a very large, very hard, old tropical tree. A tree that probably grew for hundreds of years. It's a shame that it was chopped down in the first place, but it would be even more of a shame if it was put into a hole in the ground. I found about 4 pieces of wood altogether, and I put them all to good use. But let me show you something else I found more recently. When I was down in Brighton recently, I pulled these 2 pieces of slate out of a skip. They're very thick and very heavy. They're probably the offcuts from a work surface, something of that sort. But they're fine pieces of material. Now, I've marked them up, and I'm going to cut them along this line and make 4 equal-sized plates out of them. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. I might use them as a chopping board or just something to stand things on. But it's such a wonderful material, it would be a shame to waste it. Slate is formed by the accumulation of material on the bottom of a deep ocean floor. It's then transformed by pressure and geological processes into the hard, impervious material that it is. Because of the way that it forms, it's intrinsically very flat, and it's very useful for making billiard tables, or probably pool tables as well, where it forms a very flat and even base. It's a useful building material, and it can be cut into quite thin wafers, which are useful as roofing slates, or because it's impervious to water, it can be used as a damp course. Anyway, I don't think there's any shortage of slate. There are mountains of it, I'm sure. But it is a noble material, and it deserves to be treated with respect. So waste not, want not is my philosophy. And I know that it's really not going to make a huge difference. But if we all had the same attitude, it would help. And every little helps. Anyway, I'll see you later.